So I heard that you invented a drain that can recycle water.
Water, gray water. Yeah, it never got off the ground. We got it going. We appeared at Melanie Chardoff and I appeared at an event at eco events with it, and everybody wanted it. We got a million calls and requests, and I patented it and everything, but I couldn't get the state of California to approve it. And you had to get the state to approve a gray water device because it would hook up to your shower and go through a recycling tank and then would be sent out to the garden, etc., as clear water. And they argued with us about it. We had a long fight about it. I said, shower water, you turn on the shower and water just comes down and it's clean water and it just disappears for a long time before it turns hot. You lose a lot of water. So why don't we just send it off to a tank and clarify it, etc., as purify it with rocks, with stone, etc., with charcoal. And the plumbers union, whatever it was, I don't know, in the state of California refused to approve it. So what people finally did was they just sent pure water down to their gardens. They didn't even bother. We don't even bother to purify it. I have gray water now. It just goes straight to my garden. Never gets pure. It's okay.
In a way, that kind of gives you a parallel to Paul Winchell because he was a voice actor and an inventor as well.
They invented the heart. I think he turned it into Pennsylvania University or something. Somebody took credit for it. He was really angry. I remember how angry he was when he came into a session. He was Gargamel, obviously, from your fans that didn't know that. And I grew up with Paul Winchell when I was a kid. It was Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney. I was the first one to have a Jerry Mahoney.
He was a ventriloquist also.
Ventriloquist. Oh my God, I was so excited. I had that. And then, of course, years later, here I am working with Paul Winchell in a series.
You did have a starstruck moment.
Oh, I've had a lot of starstruck moments. Quite a few. Working with the people in Super Friends. Yeah, I've had many starstruck moments. I've met Lana Turner and people like that. Could work with them, and wow, sure.
What do you think are the most significant changes in the voiceover industry from at least the 1980s to the way it works now?
I think it's pretty obvious. We have a lot of stars, a lot of on-camera celebrities that have taken the place of voice actors, of actors whose careers and livelihood depended upon voice work. And they've just decided to use, for the most part, celebrities, other than Robin Williams, and some of the others who really can change their voices. These are just actors that it's their own voice. They don't do other characters. And you wind up being subservient to them. You may get a role in it, which is good. You get a guy next door, somebody going, "Hey, what are you kids? What the heck? Get off of that. Oh, ow." That's what you wind up doing, a bank guard or something. It's rare that you get a chance to play a lead again in a series. That's what happened with Rugrats, I think, when they called me and they said, "We're going to be using some young celebrity voices to play your characters."
That's one of the reasons why I boycotted watching the Netflix Transformers series, because they didn't even bother approaching Peter and Frank, and I'm pretty sure they didn't approach anybody else who was still part of it.
I didn't even know there was a series. I thought Peter and Frank were in the new Transformers.
Not the Netflix series. The last project that you guys all did together, I think, was Transformers Devastation, the video game.
Yeah.
We should scan for Deceptor creep activity. That plasma core eject button wasn't targeted. Megatron's gonna need someone to go pick it up. Split up.
Yeah. So this is an animated series?
It is, and it's on Netflix. It's supposed to, be based off of both the toy line and a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
It's where the CGI renderings look almost exactly like figures. But to me, I'm a voiceover purist. So I've told you how I feel about someone replacing Casey Kasem. It'd be just like how Deke replaced your voice as Duke after G.I. Joe, after your character was almost killed by Serpentor.
Yeah.
Die, arrogant Earth scum! No! Duke. I guess I can't look out for you anymore, kid. Don't say that, Duke. Doc will fix you up. This isn't Doc's day for miracles. Promise me you'll try to get your act together. Be a credit to your country.
They wanted to kill me, and then I think there was a group of people who were angry, or somebody was upset.
Because
said,
of
"Why
how
are you
Optimus
killing me?"
Prime was killed off in the sister movie, Transformers the movie.
Yeah, well, I said, what are you killing me for? Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
He-
And then they killed me as Prowl, and then they killed me as Sven in Voltron. So I'm the actor they like to kill, which is okay.
I've never actually seen Voltron, but when I saw how Prowl was killed off for the first time,
Yeah.
along with Ratchet and Corey Burton's Brawn, and also Peter Cullen's Ironhide, that broke my heart. In fact, I've got you right here.
Yep.
Battle damage on you from toyhacks.com.
Sure, of course, yeah.
This is one of my all-time favorite characters because of your authoritative voice, being a contrast to the youthful Sideswipe. And there's a similarity between Sideswipe's voice and Brainstorm's voice.
There is, because there's only a certain amount of range you can go. When I train actors to do voices, I said there's a level of range, but sometimes it's just the phrasing that makes a difference.
Also, there's a shared voice between Bombshell, the Insecticon, and then there was also Scrapper, the Constructicon, who also shared that voice, and also Swoop.
Well, Swoop I shared with Grouchy Smurf.
Yeah, except Grouchy kind of had better grammar, even though his vocabulary was limited.
I hate deals.
Now, in Sonic the Hedgehog, you played a character for one season in this episode, but if it had gone on, you would have probably played him again, because at the end of the series finale, you see red eyes. Do you recognize this character?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
I am Nogus, a sorcerer. This place is sanctuary. You know it as the Void. I discovered its existence.
Yeah.
For that, I need the hedgehog's speed.
Now, that's the same voice you used for Aziz in Aladdin, and you've used him in other ways. Does it bother you when you have to do a deep breath like that for it to sound like he has asthma?
No, actually what bothers me is having to do a very, very deep voice. Now, not when I was younger, but now when I get scripts or audition copy to do a heavy, deep voice, I send back a note to the agency and say, that's not me. I'm not going to rip my throat out for this. So.
This is Idiot Keith. I got a deal for you. Meet me at the city car barn in 1 hour. That's right, 1 hour.
And I warn people when they're going to do something that they might get it. If they get it, they'll be in deep crap, because they'd have to do it for 8 shows, 13 shows. So you wind up having to do this for 13 shows, it can kill you.
Now, here's something that I wanted to ask, in part because I'm a huge Peter Pan fan. So much so that I've created a Mythos series that combines elements of Dick Tracy and Peter Pan, just like how Charlie Korsmo and Dustin Hoffman were the link in Dick Tracy the movie and Hook. You were the voice director for Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates, weren't you?
Yes, with Tim Curry.
Mm-hmm. And also with Christina Lang and
Jason Marsden,
Scott Menville, Tony Jay, and Edmund Gilbert.
And Edmund was very talented. Ed Gilbert was extremely talented. Yeah. And of course, Tim Curry was brilliant.
Yeah. The guy who was almost the Joker in place of Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
That's
how it goes.
What was your approach to the voice actors under your wing for that series?
Well, I did that at Buzzy's studio here in Hollywood. And unlike what we started to do later on in years, everybody working individually, I wanted everybody to work together. So I had a small booth, and I had all the young kids in there with the adult actors. And I just said, shut up until it's your turn. Get you on mic, but don't be talking or breathing or blowing your nose, or I don't want to hear any stomach growling. And let's just work straight through a scene. And we'd work straight through a scene. And when they do pickups, we do pickups. And I managed to get the actors in and out within a 4-hour period, as opposed to the 6 to 8 hour period it took the previous director that they brought in, so they had to get rid of her. And they brought me in. And I managed to get the show whipped up. And as a result, Tim Curry won an Emmy for it.
Well, I just want to say, as an American, the fact that you helped in either small or big form to make the Never Tribe, as I call it, and I don't call them Indians, I call them Never Tribe in my mythos, make them sound more, real and not like in the 1953 Peter Pan, which I have disavowed ever watching ever again.
I appreciate that. Yeah, these kids were good. Some of them, it's very funny. Every now and then I run into a kid who's an adult now and saying, I was one of the kids, and I don't remember. There's so many kids involved.
Did you know Cree Summer's father, Don?
Sorry?
Cree Summer, who is Tiger Lily.
Tiger Lily, yes, right.
Her father was Don Frank, and he was a substitute for Frank Welker in Inspector Gadget for a few episodes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. Not a clue. That's interesting.
I guess my Asperger's really is showing, because this is the way I am in my normal speech. I talk about voice actors all the time. I talk about voice roles. Hell, I even refer to the characters by the voice actor's name. So
yes,
I don't call him Ratchet. I call him Don Messick. And I talk about your characters as Michael Bell. And that's going to be the next video that I'm going to do for my Blue Clip reviews. I'm going to take all the figures that I have of you, and I'm going to discuss the characters that you've played. I'm doing the same thing with Casey Kasem, Don Messick, and Frank Welker as a parallel to their Scooby-Doo characters, because I call them the Scooby Trinity.
Scooby Trinity. Sounds like a church.
Sort of, but in my mythos stories, the characters are Jewish.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Got more questions?
Trying to skim down these because you've answered most of them. For younger audiences who might look back at the credits of these old shows on Hulu and other stuff and only see a name connected to the voice, what were departed actors like Don Messick, Doss Butler, John Stevenson, Henry Corden, Mel Blanc, Buster Jones, Janet Waldo, and Casey Kasem like as people? Were they nice? I asked this question at grave risk to my childhood fate.
They were all cool. Very, very nice. Corden, love him. Super guy. John Stevenson, we traveled together to do a convention together. And we also did the soap opera together, the Morning Star. He was the bad guy on Morning Star. I was the new young guy audition. That's how I met John Stevenson. Years later, met him during the shows, during the voiceover stuff. Really, all good guys, all of them, good people. Janet, wonderful lady, wonderful woman, wonderful person. No, it just seems like they were. I'm sure they had egos. We all have an ego, but you just never saw the ego.
Will you be my friend?
I'm already a friend. I responded to you.
And I could never ask for anything better than that.
Good, that's cool.
So I've got a couple of cards here.
Yeah.
So what I'd like is for you to reach out into your inner soul when you see the card in front of you and just do like one sentence. I've got a Decepticon right here that has never been voiced ever, to my knowledge. He's a cross between G.I. Joe and the Transformers. His name's Viper.
His name is what?
His name is Viper.
He looks like all the rest of he looks like all the rest of the Transformers. He looks like he'd have a voice over here, somewhere in this area. Or you could probably. It's interesting. They don't let you do a hell of a lot of dialects for those characters, because they come from another planet, so they wouldn't really sound like this, right? We wouldn't talk like this. You know, might have a bit of a limey sound to him like that. But,
Well, on this show, Mr. Bell, you've got all creative freedom that you could ever have.
I would give him I'd give him a limey voice. I'd talk like this. I'd say, hey, get out of my way. You got trouble you do with me, fella, all right? And so that's what I would sound like.
Very good. Now, let's go to...
Oh, from Batman.
What would be your take?
I don't know. I would need to read a paragraph on him as to what he went through. Probably growly, somewhere in this area here, somewhere in this bottom line voice over here. And every now and then just stop because his voice would gurgle a bit because the side of his mouth would come in play, possibly.
That's excellent.
I know it is. It's what I do for a living.
Yes. And you are part of a special tier of actors that never, ever be forgotten. And I'm going to make sure that they never are forgotten.
Well, that's very nice. So you're going to, so this is is it, because I'm really not up on this, is a podcast?
No, I don't do a podcast. This is me actually trying to, last week, I wouldn't have even given a thought that I would have been interviewing you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a YouTube channel.
Right.
Now I do impressions of cartoon characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about my mythos stories that I created. And, I don't have that big of a following. I hope you don't think that I'm trying to use you as a booster rocket.
Why not? Why not?
Because I have more
be smart business to use me as a booster rocket. So,
well, I'm going to be a court stenographer, so I'm going to be making a lot of money.
Oh, good. Cool. Very nice.
I wouldn't want to profit off of my heroes. It's just not.
A court stenographer. Okay. That's you got to type fast, don't you?
Yeah. We do.
Oh.
I hope to God that I never have to take down John Machida Jr.
I'm in charge of Pittsburgh. I know it's perfect, Peter. That's why I picked Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's perfect, Peter. May I call you Pete? It's a deal with Dave, Dick, and Dave. Don, it's a dog with Dick, Dave, and Dick. Gotta go, Dave. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dick. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dan. Disconnecting.
Because
Machida, yeah, we had dinner one evening, and it was very funny. He did something because we had a table next to each other for a convention. Everybody asked him to talk fast. You kind of like all of us are to some degree, kind of like performing monkeys when we go to those things, but it is enjoyable. It is fun. But I figured I'd give this a shot because it's the first time I'd heard from you, and you seem like a very involved fan, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And you're a nice Jewish boy.
Toda Rabah.
Yeah, so you be good, take care, and make some money. Be kind to animals. Kind of people.
I have a black lab mix. She was a rescue dog, so
I love
on that.
Great. She's spayed?
I hope so. We got her in 2010, and she was found abandoned in the woods long ago.
Oh, great. Where are you recording from? What state are you in?
I'm in Missouri.
Missouri. Okay.
Yeah, home of the Cardinals and Fitz's root beer and toasted ravioli.
Ravioli. Okay.
Yeah. Toasted ravioli. It's something that is unique to us, and also the phrase, "Where'd you go to high school?"
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, because we've got all these different municipalities all in St. Louis.
Cool. That's cool. Missouri. It's cold, isn't it?
Not as cold as I'd like it to be. I wish it was colder so I wouldn't have to worry about, global warming. But thankfully, Biden's going to put us back in the Paris climate.
Yep. Did you watch the inauguration?
I did.
Oh, God. It was a lot of crying.
That restores my hope.
A lot of crying going on in this house. Watching Lady Gaga sing a song, she kicked ass on that. Star Spangled Banner really kicked ass.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful speech that Biden made as well. And it was nice sitting. Anyway, I'm going to run. I'm going to go get breakfast. What time?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mike.
It was my pleasure. You take care and cut and snip and make me look good.
You don't need my help for that. You are a prince as it is, but I will cut out the unneeded bits.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bell. You stay safe.
Take care. Bye-bye.